Good morning. I'm very excited to be getting to work today. We are going to be doing a nonfiction day today, and today is going to be a big bout of data sorting, statistical analysis. We're going to be getting percentages up in here. I am very excited. I have been thinking about this all weekend, but I am trying to have a good work-life balance and not work on weekends. So I have been more or less good and have not really touched it this weekend. So we're gonna get into it today because I am very, very excited. For those of you who are new around here, hi, my name is Vivian Asimos. I'm a researcher and a writer, and my latest project is on a detailed study of Taylor Swift and mythology. In order to do this research, I wanted to try to get as big of a net as I possibly can because the Swiftie community is very large. So trying to capture that many people can be really tough. So I put together a survey, and I'm trying to circulate that survey as widely as possible. I have circulated it maybe to about half of the locations that I have planned. So I have another half to go, and then I've got some extra bits and bobs that I can do to help really push it forward that last little bit. So I've been doing it little bits at a time. Instead of sending out everything all at once, kind of doing it in batches. So I'll sending it to like these 2 places and then waiting, and then sending it to 2 places and then waiting. And while I am in that waiting period, I'm kind of taking in the information, sorting the research answers into ways that I can actually work with the material when it's time to work with it, which is what today is all about. I have received, as of the last time I looked, which was on Friday, I have received somewhere between 120 and 130 responses on my survey. So I am feeling very good. I am feeling very good. I wanted to have at least 100. If I had less than 100, I would feel like I failed somewhere along the way. So I'm feeling really good about it because I have talked on this channel before about how I struggle to do deep analytical readings on a screen. I like to be able to notate. I want to be able to flag things. I want to be able to flip back and forth between multiple pieces of data. I have this, which is the detailed responses of 100 survey answers. So what we are going to be doing today is actually a lot less from this because I want to do some of the hard number things that are a little bit easier to sort through before I get into long form answers of stuff. So today we're going to be starting to sort through this data and organize it. I'm only going to be sorting through the data of the first 100 participants, mostly because it's a nice solid number. That's nice. It's also a nice number that I can advertise with. So I can say, I have gotten 100 responses. These are how the breakdown looks over the first 100 responses. If you want to share your voice, come and take this survey, things like that. So it's going to be a nice tool to recirculate the survey, to get added extra information. I also want to keep reaching out to my participants, keep them in the know, keep them in the loop, and maybe grab some more people. So that's kind of the idea, is that it's going to be half keeping in touch with the participants, keeping them happy, keeping them knowledgeable about what the hell I'm doing with their data. The other thing is that I want to have data already sorted and done and things that I can cite for my proposal, for my sample chapter, things like that, so I can actually have data to give to a publisher to say, this is what this will look like. Here's the data that I've already gathered. All right, so we're gonna be doing a lot of data work today. I'm going to be circulating this information afterwards on a lot of different platforms, so you might be able to get the first little glimpses of it because it'll probably be a while before it starts being circulated elsewhere. But we're gonna start with demographics. So I asked my participants for demographic information. I did this for a couple of reasons. The first is in order to make sure that I am pulling from a diverse audience. I don't want all of my responses to be the same gender, same race, same location, because then if I see that they are all responding in the long question section, the long responses all very similarly, that might be why they're answering similarly and not because of them all being part of the same group, if that makes sense. So when there are differences, I want to be able to point to, are those differences based on this demographic? Age is going to be the easiest to sort through, and then gender. So we're going to do that first, and then that way we can kind of use those as a basis to make sure that I have the system all working on my spreadsheet. Everything's being added up right, all of the equations are all working properly, and then we can start adding the more complicated stuff. So that's what we're doing today. Let's go. All right, so we have ages, we have gender, and we have, I've titled it transness. I'm very sorry. I don't know why I brain farted on what to say there. So I have these done. As you can see, there's not a perfect 100 for these because not all of them, basically not everyone answered every question, so, which is fine. It's just so that way I'm actually getting the actual percentage of answers rather than the percentage of all data sets, because not answering just isn't data, if that makes sense. So yeah, now I think I'm gonna try putting some of this into like pretty bar graphs and stuff. Let's do some graphs. Alright, so we've got age range, gender part 1, gender part 2, sexual orientation, and that's it. Yay! Okay, so now that I have kind of the basics, I still have a couple of things in demographics that I haven't dealt with, like nationality and race, ethnicity. The only reason why I'm not going to do those right in this moment is that those are a little bit more complicated because I don't want to broad brush somebody's ethnicity out just for simplicity's sake. Like, that's not fair, that's not good. So I don't know, I'm gonna just not touch it for now until I figure out how I want to handle it. Somebody wrote unfortunately United States. That's funny. Anyway, I I do want to have some in this that are a lot more specific to Taylor Swift. So in the kind of intro sections, I have what is your favorite album? And so I thought maybe I would do like ticks of how many albums were mentioned on the favorites list. I think that would be fun. So I think we might do that. I might do the streaming, how you typically listen. I think that would be fun. Do you spend time analyzing? Oh, I should write this down. I should write this down. I have a notebook. Where's my notebook? I think some of those, just because if I'm gonna be posting out like, here's my kind of general overview, just focusing on gender and stuff like that is fine, but it's not, I don't know, people are gonna click on it because they want to see what was said about Taylor and the music that they like and how they can connect. I think they will also be interested in the other stuff, but just not to the same extent. Taylor stuff. We're gonna do, let's look at these questions. Favorite album. That would be fun. Maybe I can also do a really fun like bar graph where it's the colors and I have like the album cover on it and stuff like that. I could do something kind of fun and catchy looking. Let's do streaming, how listen. We'll do that. I need to figure out how to do something that I haven't figured out yet. We'll do Swiftie. And then these are all just responses. I think that's what we stick with for now. I think those are at least things I can do today. I know that I'm acting like this, but I am very excited. I'm very happy with this. I've got like numbers, guys. I've got numbers. I'm so excited. I want to get you an idea. So this is the question, is down here. This is all of the answer. It ends here. Yeah, so I love data. I love data. All right, I'm gonna make lunch before I keep going. So I have now aggregated basically. I have age ranges, I have gender, I have orientation, I have how they listen to the album or the music. I have the favorite albums list. I have a list of like, I want to do something else. I'm just trying to figure out. I do have like a Swifties. Like I've done how many identify as Swifties. I've done that, but I haven't like made a thing about it because I wasn't sure if that was one I wanted to at least mention in like the big detail. I think that's something that I want to know for when I'm writing about it, but not necessarily as like big form research. I was thinking about maybe going through and noting like how people define a Swiftie, but I don't know if that's starting to get into like too many things for like today. I think, okay, here's I think what I'm gonna say. I think in terms of the social media post, I'm done. I think that I just need, I'm probably gonna cut some of this down. I think I might throw up 2 or 3 of these. Consider that a social media post, we're done. I might rephrase a little bit of how they look, but more or less this is what we're doing. But I am going to be sending out an email, and I'm going to be doing a Substack. And I think for those, I might want to have a little bit more information sorted. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to do it. Like, do I want it to be something like percentage-y and things like that? Or do I want to reference a couple of things that I find interesting? I don't know. I guess it depends on how much I want to start talking about the kinds of themes I'm going to talk about in the book, or whether I want to just focus on what I have. I think those might be more of I think I'm gonna think on it. I think I'm good with like as far as that today. Oh, actually, I should do this. Okay, I've got one more thing I'm gonna do, but it's gonna be a little bit more complicated to figure out. So I think I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna do it over lunch, and then we're gonna try to do it. All right. Alright, so we have what order is that in? All right. Okay. All right, it is now about 2 o'clock-ish, so I think it's a good time to end this recording for the day. I'm gonna go take a break and swap tracks to go work on fiction projects. But let me recap a little bit about what I've done today. And I might I don't know, do I flash up some of this actual information? I don't know. But basically, I went through and did the percentage analysis of my age groups, gender, sexual orientation, how they listen to the music, what their favorite albums are they a Swiftie, do they do analysis, and the levels of import for the analysis, in which I did both an average, a median, and a mode, which at the moment I have the information that I'm going to be sending out as the median, but I might swap over to mode. I don't know. We'll see. But yes, so that is what I have done today. I also moved over a load of the emails that I have in order to add them to my newsletter list, so that way that's taken care of. I feel like I did a lot today as far as organization. The vast majority of it were very simple input answers, so yes, no's. Female, male, other, like those kinds of things are all pretty quick ones. With the favorite albums, I just grabbed the name that somebody said. I didn't really spend time on the whys. I think that's for a later conversation, but for the purposes of this, I just thought it was fun to grab. But yeah, so I think I'm happy with that. I think the next stage that I'm gonna be doing is the lot more of the, what is this? Oh, fuck off. Sorry, I just got a, do you want to use AI message on a thing that I'm doing? And it's like, no, no, I really don't. Anyway, what was I saying? I am really happy. I'm really happy to finally have my little claws on data and information, and I'm really excited about it. Well, thank you for being with me this morning while I did some lovely nonfiction work. If you want to know more about my project or anything else that I'm doing, my website is linked in the description below, as is just a whole host of other things that I do. There's books down there. There's my Substack and my other YouTube channel where I do video essays and all sorts of other things. So if you're curious, you can go and scope that out. Leave me some really lovely comments, and I will see you next time. Bye!